y'all, it's Heather, and I am so excited because I have the newest collection from Ensley. We are going to talk about everything. I have 2 eyeshadow palettes, 2 blushes, single shadows, moon dust shadows, 2 lip glosses. We are going to do 2 looks with the new collection. We're going to swatch everything. We're going to try it all on. I cannot wait. This is the Flutter and Flourish collection from Ensley, and really it's almost like 2 mini collections in one. Here we have the Flutter palette. Look at this beautiful kind of swampy, earthy color story. And then over here we have Flourish. Look at this bright neon-y palette. We're going to create a look with each of these palettes. I want to go through the collection piece by piece with you because, like I said, it's a collection, but it's almost like 2 collections in one. So let's start out with Flutter. We have this super cute, beautiful artwork on the front, and on the inside of the palette, we do have a nice big mirror. I love this color story. I gasped when I opened the box and saw this palette. I love the way these shades look. This is a magnetic palette, so you can pop these shades out. You can rearrange them if you want to put them in a different order. If you have other Ensley palettes or other magnetic shadows that you want to like swap out, you can definitely do that. That's not something I like to do, but I always like to let you know. Ensley has become one of my favorite brands. They have an amazing eyeshadow formula, definitely a very unique custom formula. I love their mattes. I love their shimmers, just so good, like amazing quality. And this color story to me is so well thought out. We'll talk about the palette more when we're actually like playing with it and putting it on the eyes, but I can't get over how pretty this is. If you're new here, hey, my name is Heather and I love supporting independently owned brands. It just makes me so happy. I love supporting other women, and I have been a fan of Ensley for so long. I've bought several of their collections before I was an affiliate with them, and I definitely would have bought this had they not gifted it to me. We also have a pressed pigment. This is the Flutter, and I believe this is a blush. It does not say blush on the packaging, but that's how I'm gonna use it. So I did apply this. It is what I'm wearing right now. Really beautiful, really pigmented. A little bit goes a long way. So if you have deeper skin and you have trouble with getting blushes to show up on you, they're not pigmented enough, I think this is gonna work for you because I could use such a light hand with this blush and it blended well. Like, it's really pretty. I like this shade a lot, and it's also magnetic, so you could pop it out and swap it if you want to do that. So this compact is really super pretty. We also have a Flutter lip gloss, and I am wearing this today. I'm wearing it over top of a lip stain, and this is a very pigmented, pretty lip gloss. You can see it's definitely high shine, and it does not feel sticky tacky on my lips, nothing like that. Now this is a like first impression try on, let's play with the collection video. It's not a review because, like I said, I just got this collection in the mail. Although I am familiar with the brand, feel like I know the formulas, so I can let you know if something is like good or not, if I feel like this is what I come to know, love, and expect from the brand. We also have 2 single shadows, Shattered Wings and Whispering Willow. If you love the packaging of this collection, I always like to point out that the single shadows do have that really beautiful print that Ensley does. They do this on their singles, and I think it's really nice because even if you don't want anything else in the collection, but you want to pick up a single shadow, you still get that really cute artwork. As soon as I have launch information, I will put it in a pinned comment and I will put it in the description box. So definitely check there, and I'll also put my affiliated code Heather. That will get you a discount on the Ensley site. Now let's talk about the Flourish palette. Again, super cute packaging. I really think this is beautiful. We have a nice mirror on the inside and this gorgeous, bright, vibrant color story. I love that in both palettes we have a mix of mattes and shimmer shades, special shades, multi-chromes, duochromes, whatever you want. I do want to point out that neither of these palettes have a pressed glitter. So if that's something that's concerning to you, don't worry about that. No pressed glitters here. These are very like neon looking mattes, and I'm so excited about these. Again, it is magnetic, so if you have both palettes, you can kind of switch and mix and make your own color story. We'll definitely be putting on the Flourish blush later on in this video for our next look, but it is this beautiful berry color right here. Again, comes in a magnetic component with this really beautiful compact. There is a lip gloss for this Flourish set too. This is the lip gloss. Again, we will wear this when we do our next look, but it comes in the beautiful box with the beautiful packaging. There are two singles. We have Monarch and Hibiscus. These singles are so beautiful. I love having single shadows, and I'm going to pop those in with my other Ensley Rain singles into my magnetic palette like ASAP before I drop one and break it. Last but not least, we have Moon Dust in this collection. If you've never tried Moon Dust from Ensley Rain, they are multi-chrome and duochrome loose pigments. I use these on the eyes as a face highlighter. I'm wearing one on my face today as a highlighter. They're very sparkly. I recommend if you're putting these on the eyes or you want to keep them in a precise area, you definitely use something like a glitter primer, a glitter glue, some type of adhesive. Absolutely love having loose pigments, loose shadows in my collection. I think they're super fun. They're a great way to add sparkle, and I always enjoy these. I'm so excited that there are more in this collection, and I think my face highlight looks super cute today. Now that I've shown you all the collection, we've shown all the swatches, everything like that, I am going to zoom y'all in and we are going to create a look. This palette is just so beautiful. I really don't know where I want to start. This shade here is so intriguing to me because it's almost like a neon, like a highlighter that's faded a little bit. So I think we're gonna have to start with that shade. Like, I really want to pack that on. I love that we have dark mattes. I love that we have these grungy, like dirty colors with these two like more faded neons. I'm just so into that. And I know I have been hoping that Ensley Rain would come out with small palettes for such a long time, and I know a lot of y'all have been wanting small palettes from Ensley Rain, so I'm so happy we got that. And I'll give you some different color combos and stuff at the very end of the video too, like after we've created both looks, maybe some other ideas that I have. But I do think this palette is laid out really well. If you just want to do two shades, just go each column, like this duo, this duo, this duo, this, and you could get a really pretty look that way. So I do really like the layout, or you could kind of do duos this way and do this duo, this duo, this duo, something like that. I just think this was laid out in a very thoughtful way. I am gonna press this shade on. I'm gonna pack it on first, and then I will blend with bright shadows like this. Pastels, a pastel-y neon is like what I would call this, I guess. You can blend, but you want to pack first because the base of these is so light. To get it to be that bright and vibrant, you don't want to just go in and swipe. So I'm going to just press this right on top of my shadow primer. That is making me happy. Now that it's pressed on, I can kind of go in and buff and blend. I just don't want to over blend right in here where I want my pigment to mainly be, but I can kind of blend out the edges and soften those up. I'm loving the way this shadow's looking. So now we're gonna go into this kind of muted purple color. This is called Wisp. I just think it's gonna be so beautiful next to this shade. I'm using brushes from my favorites set. I will link them and everything I talk about always in the description box, but I'm just taking this gorgeous purple color, like intense but muted, pigmented, like it's really gorgeous. So I'm gonna put that at the lash line, and then I'm gonna bring it kind of up here into my socket, blending it out, down and around. I just kind of want to get the color placed first so I can kind of see how these look together. I'm gonna put a little bit on the outer corner of the lower lash line, and then once I have the color down, I'll go through and I'll blend. But I wanted to kind of get that shape laid down so I could visualize what I wanted, and now I'm just going to spend a little time blending. I'm just going to put a little bit of black liner on my waterline and my lower lash line. Then I'm going to go in with this beautiful deep shade called Echo. I'm going to start by pressing this shadow onto my lower lash line, and then I'm going to smudge and blend. I'm going to blend this shadow somewhat low. I want it to be dramatic and deep. I'm so happy with how these mattes are performing, but I'm ready to go in with a special shade, and this palette has has beautiful shades inside, like so beautiful. You can kind of see the shifts in the mirror. I know you already saw the swatches and everything, but I'm just like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. But with a multi-chrome, a shadow that has a shift to it, even a duochrome or a lot of sparkle, you are gonna see that shift the most, the more area you put it on. So all over the lid, you're gonna see the shift the most. And since I wanna keep the outer part of my lid matte, I wanna just use one shimmer shade all over my lid. And I'm even gonna take it up into my crease above a little bit to kind of lift my eye. And I've got to use Golden Hour. Like, I'm just too excited about this one. After I pick up that shadow on my brush, I'm gonna spray my brush with a little setting spray just to minimize any fallout. That shade is so gorgeous and sparkly and shifty, and I'm loving it. I'm gonna grab another brush from my set and go into the shade Serenity. I'm just picking up a tiny bit of this shade, and I'm gonna use it to blend a little bit, so you're really not gonna get much of this color. I'm just using it to buff and kind of fade out this charcoal and this purple, just as a sort of like extra blending step. You could do it with the yellow, you could do it with the peach, you could do it with the gray, whatever you want to do. Don't do it at all, but I like to kind of just go through and soften things up a little bit. I think a matte inner corner would be super beautiful, like just highlighting the inner corner with the peach shade, one of these two shades at the bottom. But I do want to use a shade from the single collection, so I'm gonna grab Shattered Wings, and I'm gonna highlight the inner corner with this. I'm not gonna spray my brush or anything, I'm just gonna kind of press this on because I really want to be able to kind of like move that shimmer around with my brush, and I want it to be light and bright. This is going to be it for our shadow. I'm gonna throw on liner and a lash. All right, y'all, here is my finished look with the Flutter palette, the Flutter lip gloss, blush, a single, and a moon dust. I really love my look. I feel so great in this. I think it's so beautiful, and I just want to create like 10 more looks with this palette. I think it's so, so pretty. I love the sparkle on my lid. I went with a dramatic lash for this one. It's a half lash, but it definitely gives that drama that I was looking for. So I am super happy with my look. Before I kind of like sum up my first impression thoughts on this palette, these items, I do want to jump into the look with the Flourish palette, and then we'll just kind of recap everything at the end. Jumping into the second look with the Flourish collection, I'm going to start with a blush. This is so beautiful. It blended beautifully. It had gorgeous pigment. I used a large blush so I could really like fluff it on and make it not too pigmented, but really like diffused, and I don't know, I'm into it. After that though, I'm going to use my moon dust in the shade Daffodil. I'm just going to put this on with a fluffy brush to kind of disperse that sparkle, give me a beautiful glow, a beautiful highlight. I really like this. I think these are so pretty on the eyes and the face. And then I'm going to put on the Flourish lip gloss over a lip stain. Just like the Flutter lip gloss, this one is pigmented and sparkly and super duper pretty. I'm so excited to be jumping into the Flourish palette today because we have so many bright colors. Like, this is gorgeous. And in the first look with the Flutter palette, I used a like peachy, highlightery orange type of shade and a purple. So for this look, I want to play with the greens and pinks. We do have purple in this palette. This shade over here is a purple shade. It's a very like brown purple, but very pretty. So I want to keep this look maybe a little lighter and brighter. So we're going to go in first with Petal Pop and then with Pink Paradise. I'm going to grab my eye primer. I'm going to start off with Petal Pop, the lime kind of acid green, and I'm going to put this in the front half of my socket, crease, whatever you want to call it. I say socket because I'm 36, I have deep set eyes, I have lots of creases in my eyes, creases and crinkles and all of that. So I'm putting it right here in my socket, and I'm bringing it way above too. I want this shade to be impactful, so I'm gonna kind of bring it like right up to my brow on the inner part and in. Definitely change it up for your eye shape, or if you don't want it this dramatic, don't bring the shade up this high. If you decide to recreate this look, you can definitely keep everything a bit lower, but I want impact. And I'm also gonna bring this onto the lid, just on like the inner third of the lid. I want this green to be noticeable. Next, I'm gonna go in with that pink shade, and look at that. That's so bright and fun. Oh my gosh. That is gorgeous. Both of these shades are so pigmented. It's making me so happy. So this pink I'm putting on the lid just in like the outer third. I kind of like met these two shades up. We're gonna cover that middle part up with the shimmer, so it doesn't matter if that's perfectly blended. And I mean, it doesn't matter if any of it's perfectly blended. Like, it's our face, who cares? But I want to blend. It just doesn't have to be perfect, you know? So I'm going to blend out here, but I'm kind of keeping this at an angle. So the green is going at an angle, the pink is going at an angle. It's all kind of going this way to kind of lift my eye up. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous color. I'm just gonna diffuse the edges like this. This is such a beautiful color combo. Like, I feel so great in this pink and green. And I mean, this in itself would be beautiful, I think. Just putting on maybe a little like hot pink in the waterline and throwing on mascara would be so easy and so impactful. You could definitely do that. But, you know, more is more for me, and why not put on a little bit more? So I'm gonna go in with the shimmer and everything like that. We're definitely doing more, but I just had to say, like, that right there, I could stop and go if I wanted to. This color combo is making me incredibly happy. I want to go in with the shimmer, and I really want to use this one right here. This is the shade Garden Glow, and it's this beautiful, shifty, iridescent type of color. I'm gonna pick it up, I'm gonna spray my brush with a little setting spray, and then we're gonna put it in the center. I'm just gonna look like down into my mirror, and I'm going to pop that right there on the lid. You see how beautiful that is? I've got this on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of press the shadow off my brush first because I want to get all that pigment laid down. And I'm going to start with it right here on my lid. Then I'm going to bring it up right here to my socket, and I'm just going to press this off my brush. And then once I have the bulk of the shadow off my brush, I'm going to lightly blend up right straight to kind of the arch of my brow and back down. This is not a quiet look, okay? If you want it to be a little more tame, keep the shades a little lower, and then you can still have some color without being quite as bold with it as I'm gonna be in this look. I'm just lightly diffusing the edges so I don't have any harsh lines. I'm gonna go back in with the brush that I used for the pink matte and just kind of blend a little bit, and I also want to disperse a little bit of that sparkle. And I'm just gonna be very, very light-handed. No additional product, just a little extra blending. Next, I'm gonna pick up this shade right here. This is a purpley brown shade. It pulls a little more like cool purple on my warmer skin tone. But I'm just gonna put it right there, dragging it around and buffing it out. Let's go in with a little bit of this shade right here. This is Dahlia Magic. I'm going to press this right on top of that matte shadow and kind of flick. I don't want this to be all under my eye, just right here on the inner part where you see like these like little wrinkle crinkles. That is such a pretty color. Stop. Why is this palette so bright and fun? To highlight the inner corner, we're gonna use this beautiful color right here called Nectar. And I'm not gonna spray my brush with this shimmer. I usually don't on the inner corner, just, I don't know, I like to be able to really fluff that sparkle around. And what happens with spraying the brush is it almost makes the shadow apply like if you were to use your finger. Look at that color, like that orange, blue shift, purple, something, peach, I don't know, like, oh, this is so beautiful. This is gonna be our finished eye look. I'm gonna throw on liner and a lash, and then I'm gonna kind of tell you my thoughts on this collection. I wore the first look last night and had that on for a while, and I'm gonna wear this look today, but I wanna give you some more like color combos and just talk about my first impression thoughts on the collection. All right, y'all, here's my finished look with the Flourish half of this collection. I absolutely love it. It's so bright, it's so fun, and it is 95 degrees here, and I think it's perfect for that. Like, my look is definitely reflecting the colorful, fun, bright weather we're having. I want to show you some other color combos with these in case you're looking at them and you're like, okay, Heather, I see your looks and I see how you said like pair the shadows together to create a look, but I need some more help. I got you. Let me show you a few color combos that I also thought of and will probably use for looks in the future. If you want to do a look that maybe isn't super colorful, it's like that little hint of color, I would use Echo and Flicker for sure. So let me swatch out those two shades on my hand. So these two cool tones, really pretty, not colorful, but where we're gonna like pull in the color is with these beautiful shimmery shadows. So I would pull in this shifty shade right here called Moonflower. Can you see? It kind of goes this like blue, brown, purple, and I'll swatch that right there. So you could have an eye look with this trio, just this in the outer corner, or just this is eyeliner, this all in the socket or crease, and then this on the lid, and you're good to go. You have like a 3 shadow look. You're good with that. But if you wanted to add like a little pop on the inner corner, you could jump into Mystic Meadow right here and throw that on the inner corner. You can see it's like this iridescent kind of like blue brown right there. That would be beautiful and not super colorful or anything like that. It lets you kind of skip the purples and the greens in here. I love this color story. I think there's a lot of versatility to this palette. So hopefully this is helpful to you as well to see kind of like these 4 shades together, not just in duos, but you can also break this palette down into quads. So cut out all of these shadows and just focus on those 4 right there. Same thing over here, cut out all of this and just focus on these 4 shades. I think the palette was really well thought out when they arranged it this way. I think that's super duper helpful. So hopefully that is helpful to you. I really love the formula of this. I don't know which palette I would say is like my favorite if I could only pick one palette, because the color stories are so different. They're not really comparable. So I'll let you make that choice for yourself, which one you would get most use out of. But let me show you some other color combos with the Flourish palette, because I also feel like this palette is laid out in a very smart way to where you can kind of stick to the columns. If you just need like 2 shadows to pair together and go out the door, you can do your columns this way, or you can do your groupings this way, like these 2 shades, these 2, these 2. Again, you can break them down into quads if you want to see the palette that way. That can be super helpful, this middle quad right here. But let me show you some other colors that I was thinking would be really beautiful together. So again, I'll take the darker shade right here paired with this bright purple, and I'll swatch those. We start with these purpley shades right there, then we could pull in this beautiful multi-chrome right here, and then maybe for the inner corner, like this yellow would be really gorgeous, and that could be a nice simple look. Like, look at that. I mean, this is like the yellow, but the way you're seeing it, you're getting more of that pink silvery reflect because it is like a very shifty type of shadow. So there's a lot you can do with this palette, like, and you can definitely do more muted looks if you just stick like with this in the outer corner and one shimmer. It's going to be really beautiful and not super impactful. I need to wipe off my hands before I end up getting this all over my white shirt. This is definitely the Ensley Rain formula that I know, love, and expect from the brand. If you have Cold Moon, which I know is one of their most popular palettes, it's definitely that same type of formula. There's different types of shimmers in here. The mattes are buttery, smooth, pigmented, easy to blend, easy to build, all of that. The shimmers, there's several different formulas. Some of those that are way more sparkly but kind of iridescent, almost sheer topper-like. Some that are very impactful and pigmented. Some that have a little bit more of that like squishy texture that are very smooth and almost cream-like. All super, super gorgeous, and I cannot wait to create more with those. Both of the glosses are beautiful. If you will wear shades like this, I think that you will be super happy with these. These are definitely more intense shades. That's why I wanted to put them on the lips for you. But the formula feels really, really nice and comfortable. The Moon Dust Loose Shadows, the Duochrome Multichrome Loose Shadows, I love these. Like, I always love these. I have bought many from Ensley Rain myself, and I just love that my collection keeps growing because I think these are beautiful on the face, on the eyes. You can even kind of get a fluffy brush and dust it over like your shoulders and your décolleté to kind of give you some sparkle if you want to. The blushes are beautiful. These are pigmented. So if you have like my skin tone or lighter, you definitely want to go in with a light hand, and then you can always build from there. But if you have problems getting pigment like to show up on you and a lot of blushes are too sheer or not pigmented enough, I don't think you're gonna have that issue using these. So I really like that. I really like that they did these beautiful compacts. I like that they're magnetic. So if you just love the component and you want to put another blush in and use this all the time, you can definitely do that. The single shadows, I went ahead and put them in my magnetic palette with my other Ensley Rain shadows. These single shadows are really beautiful. I like the shades that come in this collection. I think they fit with the collection. I think they also add something. They gave us options in this collection. Like, there's several different things to pull from. So if it's all not for you, you can definitely like pick and choose what you want. But I don't think I have to keep saying it, but just in case you didn't realize, I love my look. I loved my first look. I love this look today. I am just so feeling it. These products are so, so good, and I'm so happy that Ensley Rain is giving us smaller palettes, because if you're a fan of the brand like me, you know most of the palettes are a little bit larger, and even the ones that aren't huge are still like bigger. So I love that we have these new 12 pans. I hope that you are having an amazing day. I'm going to pop up another Ensley Rain video if you want to check out more from the brand. If you've never seen them and you're like, wait, what? I want to watch some reviews. I have got you. I've got it all here for you. Stay, talk about makeup with me, because I can and do talk about makeup all the time.